What's going on, YouTube? Hello, subscriber. What it do, white collar crew? I hope all is well. Well, I've got a couple of interesting weeks to tell you guys about. So we're gonna actually start off with last week. Last week on Saturday, I got a call from my new trainee that's been with me for a week. He said over the road life just wasn't for him. He was nice enough to let me know on a Saturday, so no big deal. You know, I totally understand over the road life wasn't for him. So he called me up on Saturday and he decided to quit. That gave me plenty of time, and I appreciate him calling me on a Saturday, because then on Sunday I was able to leave out at a proper time for me to go park up, and I ended up doing that. So that kind of just started off just a lucky week. The place that I was delivering to, my appointment time was 9 a.m., which is late to me. I want to be unloaded by 7 a.m. or earlier. My appointment time was 9 a.m. And so I went and checked in actually when I got there Sunday evening around 7:30 p.m. And the security guard, he ended up saying, hey, your appointment time is 9, but we open up our gates at 4. And so what did I do? I'm a go-getter. I woke up at 3:45. I got dressed. I got to the gate, opened up at 4 o'clock in the morning, went inside, unstrapped, untarped. Guess what? I was unloaded by 6:30 a.m. I was unloaded by 6:30 a.m. And that just honestly just started just the good vibe for the rest of the week. I got dispatched shortly after 7 a.m., which was perfect. But my appointment time to go pick up, the place was only about an hour away, so I was going to get there around 8:15. My appointment time was 11 a.m. So I was bummed out. So I drive over to the shipper, but you know what? I'm a go-getter. I checked in at 8:30, 8:45. I was getting loaded. I was actually loaded by 9:15 in the morning. 9:15, perfect. Got strapped, got tarped, got secured, rolled out. Now that load actually happened to go through Linden, Texas, which if you guys have been following me for a long while now, I've mentioned it a couple of times. I got a good buddy of mine that lives over there, Quay, and his beautiful wife, Bridget. They let me come on over. They cooked me dinner, let me take a shower. Love those guys. Love them, love them, love them. So shortly after spending a couple hours there, got over to the receiver of that load, and there was a little bit of a different story. They took a while to get me unloaded, but I was unloaded and dispatched by 8:30 in the morning. Not terrible, not perfect, but still, it was going great. From there, ended up bouncing and going and getting pallets. Never got pallets before. Or actually, I have gotten pallets before, but not these small ones. And that was a lot of straps. Had to do a X strap in the front. It was a lot of straps. All right, YouTube, hello subscriber. What's up, white collar crew? Hey, so this is just a quick little video on load securement for pallets. Got the X strap over the front. That'll prevent forward movement. I got 2 load securement devices going over the very front bundle. 1 4-inch strap and 1 2-inch strap. And then I've got 1 4-inch strap going over all the center bundles of pallets. I have them pretty much alternating, except right here. I messed up on the alternating, but not a big deal. And then I got 2 4-inch straps going over the back bundle, and then I've got an X strap also going on the back that'll help prevent backwards movement. So yep, that is a load of pallets and how you would secure it to get safely down the road. But good thing about that is it got safely down the road. Bad thing about that is I ended up losing my strap, what's it called, edge protector pole over there. I left it like a ding dong, and yeah, no big, it sucked. So I had to order me another one. There goes 50 bucks. So that pallet went over to a shingle plant. Now this shingle plant, I I had given them a call, which we're not supposed to do, but I'm very polite and professional on the phone. And I wanted to call and confirm that they have overnight parking there, which the dispatch says they do not. Google reviews says they do. So I ended up calling. It's very polite, very professional. And they were like, yeah, we have overnight parking. Absolutely, 100%. Come on in. We'll get you unloaded in the morning at 6 a.m. I was like, okay, fantastic. Well, I got there around 8:30 p.m. And they ended up unloading me that night. So that worked out great. And I'm going to back up just a little bit. Getting over to the steel place after I visited my friends in Linden, Texas, I got there around 8 o'clock in the evening. And then I got over to the Shingle plant around 8:30 p.m. And then from there went and picked up some lumber and got over to that consignee by 8:30 p.m. roughly. So every single night last week, I got to the consignee it was still light outside. I mean, it was getting dark, but it was still roughly light outside. So it was just a great, smooth, just everything worked out real nicely type of a week. Even when I dropped off at the lumber place after the pallets, they were quick to unload me. Then from there, I got a load that actually took me all the way down to Lafayette, Louisiana. By Friday morning, I was in Lafayette, only an hour and a half away from home. It just, you know, it was a smooth week. Other than a good trainee quitting on me, it was a good week. So that was last week. Spent the weekend at home. That was nice. And ended up picking up a new trainee. He only lived about 23 miles away from me. And it happened to be on the way to my consignee. So I ended up saying, hey, stay at home. I'll pick you up Sunday morning. And you can meet me at a truck stop in Laplace. And that's what he did. He met me. Everything was going pretty good. We got to the consignee at a good time on Sunday night. Then on Monday morning, we picked up a load. Now, this load is not a very fun load at all. This load actually, in fact, is one of the harder loads to secure and more so tarp. It was a load of I-beams double stacked that needed to be tarped. It's a pain in the butt. It's a pain in the rear end, you guys. So he got back into the truck and was like, that was the hardest work I ever did. And so I was like, yeah, that is some hard work, but keep in mind, this is the most money you've ever made. So we ended up having a 2-day run from Dallas, Texas area over to South Carolina. And that was this week. And we got parked on Tuesday night. And on Tuesday night, I was watching some TV. He was gathering up all of his stuff. And I was like, what's going on? And I was like, hey, everything all right? He's like, oh, I'm just working on my stuff. I'm like, okay. So I continue watching a little TV. I look again, and all of his stuff is gone. So I look outside and look down the mirror, and he's halfway down the street. So I go throw on a shirt real quick, put on some shoes, and I go running after him. Dang near twist my ankle. I'm like, hey, what is going on? What are you doing? This isn't the right fit for me. This isn't the right fit. I'm on my way to the airport. And I was like, okay. And I was like, this is terrible, but okay. So he ended up lasting 3 days with me. And so that was the way I started off this week. So that actually, it was a bummer. It was a bummer. He was a good guy too. I wish him the best. And so, yeah, I'm 0 for 2 for the last trainees in the past couple of weeks. So, but anywho, that put me in South Carolina. I actually had a job fair to go to talk up TMC and try to recruit some of these military veterans to come drive for TMC. So from South Carolina, went down into Georgia, Savannah, Georgia area, delivered a load the same day, which was another one. I mean, that was two, yeah, in back-to-back weeks, I was able to deliver a load the same day, which is pretty rare to do. And so after that, I ended up going to this job fair, and that was yesterday, but that actually set me behind. I was empty at the job fair. The job fair was from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. By the way, TMC does compensate me for that. I got paid $150 to be there for 3 hours. You could do the math. That's $50 an hour. That's some good money. So got the truck all cleaned up for that. Got the tires. I sprayed the tires down with some tire shine. But anyways, at 2 p.m. I got dispatched to load. Actually, no, 3 p.m. I got dispatched to load, and it was just yesterday. It was a 150-mile bounce, and then a 300 miles loaded. Got to my location last night. It was an apartment complex being built in Spartansburg, South Carolina, and got there last night. Parked this morning, woke up, started unstrapping, started unbunging. They said they opened up at 7. It's 6 a.m. And I'm looking around. I'm not seeing anybody. Usually people just start trickling in at 6:15, 6:30, 6:45, that kind of stuff. Nobody was showing up. So this morning there's a phone number on the dispatch, and usually there are for job sites, and ended up calling the number, no answer. So I ended up texting, introducing myself. The response was, no deliveries on Fridays. I'm like, no, I already unstrapped. I already was ready to untarp. I was ready to go. And so they weren't going to unload me. Well, some other guys ended up showing up, some plumbing guys and maybe some other guy, but he ended up parking next to me with his truck, pickup truck, and he says, hey, I got some bad news for you. I'm like, I know, I already know. And they don't do deliveries on Fridays. He's like, you know what, but do you know how to drive that forklift over there? I said, no, I don't. I wish I did. Those things look so much fun. But anyways, he was like, well, I do. It's been a few years, but give me till 8 o'clock and I'll get you unloaded. And let me tell you, that just helped out so much. So that load that I picked up yesterday, delivered this morning, was only like $750 or $775. So that brought this week to $45.55 to the truck. And if I was not able to deliver that load, it would have brought this week back down to like $3,700. What's the math on that? $3,800 roughly. And that would have started off next week, because I would have delivered that load on Monday, with $775. It was a terrible way to start off the week. Well, thankfully, this guy came to my rescue. All my good karma I've thrown out there in the world, it came back to me this morning, and he got me unloaded. Then I got dispatched to load. That is $2,600 to the truck. So now this week is $45.55 again. Now next week is already starting off at $2,600 to the truck instead of $755. So I explained to that guy just how helpful that was for him to hop in the seat of a forklift that he hasn't touched in years and help me out. It was huge. So anywho, got that unloaded this morning. This is the load that pays $2,600. It is, I don't even know what they are really. They're like, I don't even know what they are, but they're very light. This is only about little more than 10,000 pounds. And this is how I secured it. So I got an X strap in the very front to prevent forward movement. This stuff is fragile, so they didn't want straps going over the top of the product. Instead, they wanted it right over the corners of the product. So you could see I've done that. Now I wanted to throw 4-inch straps here, but I have a Benson trailer, and the rail for the 4-inch stops right there. So I had to use 2-inch straps, which is no big deal. These things are about a little more than 2,000 pounds each. So these straps, working load limit on those are 3,355 or 3,335. So this is plenty of load securement So here I've got a 2-inch strap, and now I'm able to throw some 4-inch straps finally. And you can see that right over the corners, nice and easy. Then I got this little itty bitty one back here, fun size, just like me, right back there. So really light load. I wanted them to go ahead, since it is nice and light, go all the way to the very front of the trailer, and that way there's less wind resistance if they happen to be right in the center. So, and I'm gonna get good fuel mileage. I got a long way to go. I'm in South Carolina, and I'm going all the way to pretty much Des Moines, Iowa with this. So that's what I'm up to now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you so very much for your patience waiting for me to drop a video. And also, please don't forget, I got my Amazon store. If you guys see anything out here that I use that you guys think you might want, go click on my Amazon store. It's in the link below, in the description of this video. Also, of course, on my YouTube homepage, you get that. You can see that strap winder or strap edge protector pole that I was talking about that I lost, that I had to go spend more money on. But anyways, thank you again so much for watching. Hey, you know what to do. Smile. You got a great one.